Hello, all my air signs, all you Geminis, you Libras, you Aquarians. Welcome to your weekly reading, and this is going to be for April 18th to April 25th. But of course, these are also timeless, so anytime you're coming across them, there can be messages in here for you from the Creator, so still check them out. I'm excited. This week coming up is Taurus season is starting up, so we're going to have some good grounding going on. And we'll talk about that. Just real quick, want to let you know, in addition to these weekly readings, I'm also started doing daily collective readings that are general for everyone. And there's little short ones that I'm doing for each day of the week based on the chakras, just to help us balance and stay connected to the Creator. So there'll be a link at the end of this video with the playlist. So if you want to check those out, that'll be there too, as well as a link to all the other element readings. There'll be a playlist for that. And then lastly, starting in May, I'm going to do monthly individual zodiac readings for the entire month per sign. So there'll be for each of the 12 signs. There's going to be a separate video for that. So keep an eye out for that. If you're not currently subscribed and you want to be notified of when all those videos are coming out as they are posted, just go ahead and subscribe and click that little alarm and you'll get notified on that. All right, well, let's get into this. I'm excited to see what is in store for the air signs coming up this next week. And because it is going to be, Taurus season, the Earth, we're going to pick a fairy card at the end. But to start off, we're going to go ahead and pull a card here from the Angel Guide Oracle, just to see what the general energies are for air signs for next week. And before I get started, I just love just to welcome the Creator to be here with us, and we thank you for your unconditional love. And we also welcome and thank all of our guardian angels, our spirit guides, our ancestors, all our loved ones who've gone to the other side, and any of the other magical beings of unconditional love that want to be here, help bring messages. We welcome you and we thank you. All right. Let's see what we have in store next week. So what kind of energies? What message, does the Creator have for us, just to help us have our highest experience, our highest vibration of love, and just any heads up that would benefit us. Let's see, what would you like our air signs to know, please? Okay, I really feel that one wants to be known there. Okay. No. Just say no. I love this. So if we had a question in mind of, I'm not sure, should I or shouldn't I? There's your answer. I also love this because, entwined within that is what I call the power of no. It's one of our superpowers. And what I love about it is that we're taught so much to say yes, and to especially people in authority, but we also feel fear of letting down people or people getting mad at us and rejecting us if we're not doing what they want us to do. So we get manipulated and bullied, by not feeling we can say no because we fear the outcome. What's wonderful about the power of no, though, is that, we have to deal with whatever repercussions come from our choices, right? But I always thought, because I used to fear if I didn't do what my friends wanted me to do, and if I had an opinion of my own, they would not want to be my friends anymore, and I'd be, alone all the time. But I found that if those are how my friends are going to react, then they're not really truly my friends, right? They're just acquaintances that are using me, or I'm allowing to use me for whatever, right? Because friends love each other unconditionally, usually, and they want to do things that are balanced, and they want things, to go hand in hand with each other. So, when we fear saying no, that's a huge kind of alarm. It's a little, just a beep, 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 beep. Here's something you can look at. What are you fearing? And is it really so bad if that person does leave you if you don't do what they want? all the time, yeah, it's like give and take, right? But if it's always give, you're exhausted. You're also, you can get a little bit resentful. So you want more of, give and take, in our interactions and our relationships. So that is what's popping up there for us. Let me see what else it says in here, in this book here, because I always love what Mr. Kyle has to say in here. So it says your angels are drawing close at this time to help you recognize that the answer to the question on your mind is no. This is not the time to proceed. You may want to, but you are being encouraged to see beyond the current situation and understand that following through on your ideas may have a negative effect on the whole course of your life. Angels are swooping in because they want to save the day and save you a lot of heartache from a choice that is not heart-centered. If you're feeling upset or annoyed by this guidance, that's okay. You're allowed to have an emotional response, but in truth, there will be a part of you that already knows that what you are considering isn't the best use of your energy. Oh, we've all been there, haven't we? It's like when you flip a coin and you're like, should I do that or should I? And you're like, it says yes. You're like, oh, let me do 2 out of 3, because you know that you're like, this really isn't good for me and I really just need to be able to say no. So it says, do not make plans. Do not move forward. Retreat and reflect. Think deeply. Seek the advice of those you love and trust, and ask them to help you get to the bottom of the question or issue or decision that is before you. Do not make any sudden moves. This card is coming in to help you sustain your mental, emotional, and spiritual energy and stay on the road to wholeness. So I love that. So the message for next week is don't make movement, don't proceed in things unless you absolutely know it is for your best experience here on Earth, right? If you're, I'm not sure, just know that the answer is no for now, at least. And sometimes we don't have all the information. So when no comes or we're unsure, then it means we don't have the information that we need to make the decision. And I always love the song. It's one of the few country songs that I listened to when I was growing up is, thank God for unanswered prayers. It's like, oh, I'm glad that I said no to that because look what it ended up happening. And I was actually, life was happening for me and I was being guided. And like it mentioned, they're swooping in to save you from negative energy and negative, things happening. And that you're being kind of nudged in a direction that's for your highest experience. One other thing about the power of no that I like is that we always think we have to come up with an excuse when we tell someone no. And that is something else to look into of why do you feel you have to say that? Do you feel like, oh, it's going to hurt their feelings if I say no? Well, yeah, sometimes if we say no like a douchebag and go, no, like a little 2-year-old, but we can own a little bit of that's making it difficult for the other person to choose a positive response to our negative response, right? We can say, oh, you know what? I'm not able to do that right now, but can we do it like on, Wednesday, or how about next weekend? I have time then, and I'd love to do that then. You don't even have to say why you're saying no. You can just say, oh, not right now, but how about such and such, So you don't even have to come up with an excuse. We just do it for our own guilt, and sometimes we even lie because we figure, well, I'd rather hurt him with a lie than hurt him, by being rejected. But truth always comes out, doesn't it? All right. Next, I'm going to take some cards here from the Light Seers Tarot and just get some clarification on next week and any additional messages that we might have. You air signs, that's the mind. We definitely love to think, overthink, triple think. So it's a good time to step back and reflect next week. All right, one more shuffle here. Right, what else would you like air signs to know for next week, please? Okay, fill that one there. These two here. Any others? One more pass. Okay. Oh, and they said the bottom one too. So we'll do that one too. All right. Ace of Wands. So I love this. This is the spark. This is the spirit. This is new inspiration. You know, new ideas can be coming next week too. And what I love, you know, with this and with us next week is about don't take action, but when we're stepping back and reflecting, we can get new sparks to do new things. We can see what maybe we're not temporarily letting go of an idea. We're like, you know what? I thought I wanted that, but now that I've looked into it, it's really not what I want to do. But oh wow, this is interesting. So it's about researching and looking into new inspirations that you have. And it can be, I don't really feel it's like relationship. I really feel it's more like life purpose kind of stuff, you know? Like, what do I want to accomplish? What do I want to do? What do I really want to do? You know, I have all these ideas and opinions of that of people have told me all my life of who I should be and what I should be doing, and this would be best for you, and da 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 da. But follow your heart, follow that passion, look into it, and even if it's taking, you know, not taking actions, but creating a list of questions, creating a list of things that would have to happen before you could do that, you know. That is what you can do next week with that new ideas, with those new adventures, with that new, just that new adventure. I just feel like this, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you're kind of bored in this area of your life, and you're like, I'm ready for something new, and this is the week to start looking, start researching, search the internet, search, YouTube for videos on things, start looking into things. Don't take action on it yet, but just start looking and making lists or writing things down. And if you're not a list maker, just start having those thoughts, in your imaginary list that you carry in your head. Start gathering. And then you got the Five of Swords. And this is kind of what I was saying about being sick and tired. This is the Five of Swords, which is the mind, which is the thoughts, which is the air signs, right? And what I love, it's kind of a little gross sometimes for some people, but you're here and you've achieved something, and you've gotten up to something, and all the blood, sweat, and tears. See all the, like, there's blood on the snow down here. It's like there was pain and suffering to get to this point of the summit where you thought, when I get here, I'm going to be happy, but I'm not. And so this voice, this thought is right in your face going, you should have been happy. You should have been happy. Why aren't you happy? What now? What now? What now? And it's just like, oh, you're giving me a headache. What am I going to do? I just feel, like it says, sick and tired and exhausted of pursuing that thing. But what I love is that there's this light, this aurora borealis, that there's hope, that there's higher things to look for in your life, and that, this wasn't a waste to get to where you are, because, this life seems to be designed that, we have these expectations and these things that we need to get to in life where, it's like, when you get here, you're going to be happy, and you get there, and like, okay, but when you get here, you're going to be happy, and you get there, and like, no, I mean, when you get here, you're going to be happy. And after a while, you're just like, wait a minute, all these things are disappointing me. They're not making me feel fulfilled. It's those external things that are disappointing, because people change or pass away, situations never stay the same, and things break, deteriorate, or stolen, or burn, or whatever. So all those things do disappoint us, and when they disappoint us enough, like this, that's when we turn inward to really find, this passion, to really find that fulfilling thing that we're looking for, which is really the unconditional love of the creator of all things. And we find who we really are because we're constantly turned back in here. And then once we find out who we are and we remember we're these beings, these powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings made of unconditional love, we're like, wow. And then we're like, how can I express that to the world? What brings my, heart joy? What makes my soul sing? Do that, do that. That's how you share love with the world. That's how you share your passion with the world. Then got the Eight of Pentacles. So Eight of Pentacles has to do with the external stuff, the outside physical world. And, you have all these opportunities, all these phases of your life that you've learned from. But there's also some things that you can possibly study. So as we're looking, into these passions this next week, taking a step back and looking at what else would bring me joy, what interests me, what, makes my heart sing. There can be an opportunity to look into and research schooling or classes or any kind of training or just information. And so don't take action on it yet because of no, but take next week to gather and see what you want to pursue. So make that little list, research those books, whatever it might be, and then sit with it and reflect on it. And then I imagine the next week is when we're going to be kind of nudged to take action. But for this next week, it's all about take a deep breath, take a step back, and let's look into what you really want. Three of Cups. So this normally in the tarot means, celebration or, support in groups, things like that. But for me, this bears a special meaning because of some readings I've done in my life where this actually represents spirit to me. So it's being in combination with your higher beings, with your guardian angels, with the creator, with your spirit guides, with your loved ones on the other side. It's about communicating higher. And so as you're doing this research, air signs, we like to think, we like to be logical, and sometimes we forget to take a deep breath, take a step back, and also trust our intuition and connect to the higher realms. That's logical. My sun sign is Aquarius, so I'm an air sign. So I know that, earlier in my life, I was all about facts. But as we opened up to spirit, it's logical to me to trust, hey, you guys have a higher perspective. You see time. There is no time or space. So they see all time all at once. They see everything. They know they got the best perspective. So why not ask them? Because that is logical to me. All right. Yep. And then lastly, you got Three of Pentacles. So what I love about this is not only is there a possibility for you to look into what you can teach others, it's about what you can learn from others, but also how you can assist others. So there's like three different perspectives in this card, which I love. And it's about, Pentacles is about your external work, your external accomplishment. So as you're looking at what you want to do, kind of look at it from three perspectives. What can I teach others? What can I learn from others? And how can I help others with their, dream maybe as well? And so one or two or all three of those will resonate with you, and that'll help you with your analysis of your awareness of what you really want to do with your life. All right. Okay. And then lastly, as I said, because we're entering into Taurus season and that's an earth sign, I thought I really didn't think I was, pushed to go, hey, fairies. Fairies are connected to earth energy. Healing with the Fairies Oracle cards is what jumped out to me. So we'll go ahead and see what messages we have for this to end reading here today. All right, what's our final message for the air signs, please, for this next week. Okay, it's a little too many. They have a lot to say, but they told me no. What message do we have for air signs for next week, please? Okay. All right. You've got sexuality. Taboo. We'll go ahead here and see what she mentions for the message here. So it's funny, that we have no, and then it talks about sexuality here. Because it's like, it says here your sexual self needs some attention. By drawing this card, you're urged to be honest with yourself about your sexuality and to take appropriate steps. Sexuality is an important part of life, not just to our physical self, but also to our emotional and spiritual selves. The fairy realm understands the unique joy that comes from sexual experiences. They know about the divine light that is created when you merge with a beloved partner. They understand the release that sexuality brings about. By drawing this card, you're being guided to heal any sexual issues that may have arisen from negative experiences. If you were ever sexually abused, this card may signal a call for help from your inner self. You may be directed to seek professional counseling or support group to overcome negative sexual or body image issues, or to heal a sexually unsatisfying relationship. The fairies will guide you to the appropriate resources so that you can be truly free to experience the dynamic aspects of your sexuality. And the affirmation for the card is, my sexual self is attractive, healthy, and able to experience great pleasure. And I love that for us, and this, doesn't necessarily fit everyone's situation as far as wanting to engage, sexually now. But I really feel there's kind of a couple messages. One is, like it mentions, it's coming up because of some negative experiences that happened, in your life. And those things are buried. Those things have been, building up, and they didn't go away, if they were suppressed, because, they just sit there and they just kind of, it's like an ulcer. It just keeps growing and it causes pain and have you avoid things. It has you avoid happiness in life. And it doesn't necessarily say, this is what's going to happen, then you're going to go do this. It's like, don't focus on the future. The message is just to focus on looking at what you can do, what resources can you do to do that. And I know that when there's painful things that happen in our lives, we don't want to be pushed. We don't want to feel, shoved into anything. So this is why don't take action on it this week. It's all about just take this week to research, just to see how. You don't have to do anything with that yet, but just take the step to find out how. The other thing that, with facing sexuality has to do with going outside those boundaries, going outside those thoughts of, how things are supposed to be, how things should have been, how things need to be, and to expand and go above that. I know with, again, air sign, we get those beliefs and we get grounded in it, and we're like, we're not going to budge from that. But this is about expanding our thoughts and our beliefs around sexuality. We're taught in this, at least in the United States, it's like, so taboo. At least when I was growing up, it's like you don't want to see any nudity. You don't want to even talk about any of that. And so when that comes up, it's like, oh my God. Or even about choosing a different, kind of sexual orientation than the norm as well. I mean, I had to face that and come out, because I'm gay, and it took me almost 30 years to be able to feel where that ugly feeling of not being myself outweighed the fear of being rejected or hurt by other people. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be who I am because I can't, do anything else. I had even begged God for 16 years from when, 13, when I started feeling the emotions, all the way up till I was 29. And I almost killed myself because of having those feelings. And so, that's another thing is, it's funny because when I was laying on the floor of my bedroom crying, thinking how I was going to kill myself, I just felt this electricity drop into my room and I just couldn't move. And all I felt and all I heard was a whisper in my soul of no. So if that is a specific message for anyone out there, just know that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. We all are. We all have differences and dreams, but our biggest dream is that we all want to be loved. And we are. So I hope this message resonated with you today. What a wonderful week we have coming up. Take a step back, look at what we want to do, research, stick our little fingers out and look into things. Don't take any action yet, but just look around and see what it is you want to do. One of the things they mentioned with the helping others, what can you teach? How can you help others? What can you learn from others? For some of you, because of what you did go through in your life, you're able to start up, organizations or become a part of an organization that can help others because, there's no greater compassionate heart than those that have gone through the things of those individuals that they're trying to help that have gone through the same thing. We all love to hear that we're not alone in what we've went through and what we've gone through. And so just know you're never alone. And if this did resonate with you, as always, I appreciate any likes, shares, comments, subscribes. All those things help the channel and help it, spread these readings and spread the love of these readings out to people. So if you feel like doing any of that, it is greatly appreciated. And I'm excited for what this week is going to bring all of us. Again, just know that you are unconditionally loved. I love you very much. And you have a fantastic week. You take care.